Learn Hindi fast. Could you please help me? To must I, with.
क्या आप मेरी मदद कर सकते हैं?
Welcome to Hindi survival mode. Hey, you're about to learn 5 super useful Hindi phrases without falling asleep on page 2. We'll keep it light, practical, and just silly enough to stick in your memory. Imagine you land in India with confidence, curiosity, and absolutely no idea where platform 6 is. Don't worry. Today you'll practice how to ask for help, ask someone to repeat, say what you want, politely jump in for a moment, and ask whether you must do something. Your 5 power phrases are.
क्या आप मेरी मदद कर सकते हैं?
Meaning, could you please help me?
क्या आप उसे दोहरा सकते हैं?
Meaning, could you repeat that?
मुझे चाहिए.
Meaning, I would like.
क्या मैं संक्षेप में?
Meaning, may I briefly, and.
क्या मुझे करना चाहिए?
Meaning, must I. Yes, you now officially sound more prepared than the hero in many travel comedies. The bag, the panic, the help. Let's start with the phrase that saves backs, bags, and dignity. Say it like you mean it, but politely. You are holding 1 suitcase, 1 backpack, 1 mystery snack bag, and what might be a melon. The suitcase wheel gives up on life. You smile at a stranger and say,
क्या आप मेरी मदद कर सकते हैं?
A useful full example is,
क्या आप इस बैग के साथ मेरी मदद कर सकते हैं?
meaning, could you please help me with this bag? Notice the key word,
मदद.
which means help. If you remember one little anchor, remember this.
मेरी मदद.
Means, my help. Funny memory trick. Even your cat, staring at a closed door like a tiny philosopher, seems to meow.
क्या आप मेरी मदद कर सकते हैं?
Now say it once slowly.
क्या आप मेरी मदद कर सकते हैं?
Again.
क्या आप मेरी मदद कर सकते हैं?
The universal learner button. Now for the phrase every language learner needs at least 17 times a day. This is your polite replay button. Someone speaks fast, very fast, so fast that your brain hears only wind, rhythm, and maybe one distant syllable. You calmly say,
क्या आप उसे दोहरा सकते हैं?
this means, could you repeat that? And it is pure gold in real conversations. In a noisy station, in class, in a cafe, or while your brain is still loading, use.
क्या आप उसे दोहरा सकते हैं?
The key action word here is
दोहरा.
connected with repeating. Think of a conversation with a replay button. Mini dialogue. A says, the train leaves from platform 6. You blink heroically and answer.
क्या आप उसे दोहरा सकते हैं?
Humor bonus. If you say this near a parrot, you may accidentally create a supervisor who repeats everything twice. Say it with me.
क्या आप उसे दोहरा सकते हैं?
T first, grammar second. Excellent. Now let's ask for what you want, which is usually tea, water, a ticket, or more tea. The Hindi pattern for I would like is
मुझे चाहिए.
if you want tea, say.
मुझे चाय चाहिए.
If you want water, say.
मुझे पानी चाहिए.
If you want a ticket, say.
मुझे एक टिकट चाहिए.
A simple way to remember it.
मुझे
Points to me and
चाहिए.
gives the sense of would like or need. Picture yourself at a chai stall, trying to look calm and local, while inside you are 90% excitement and 10% cardamom aroma. You say,
मुझे चाय चाहिए.
and if the chai is amazing, your soul may whisper.
मुझे और चाहिए.
Meaning, I would like more. Repeat after me.
मुझे चाहिए. मुझे चाय चाहिए.
May I briefly pretend to be very polite? This next one is for meetings, classrooms, and moments when you want to speak without sounding like a dramatic trumpet. The phrase is,
क्या मैं संक्षेप में?
and it means, may I briefly. You can use it when you want to ask a quick question, explain something shortly, or interrupt politely. For example, may I briefly ask a question? Becomes,
क्या मैं संक्षेप में एक सवाल पूछ सकती हूँ?
may I briefly explain this? Becomes,
क्या मैं संक्षेप में ये समझा सकती हूँ?
the funny part, of course, is that people sometimes say, briefly, and then speak for 40 minutes. Don't be that person. Be the legend who says,
क्या मैं संक्षेप में?
and actually means it. Must I, though? Now let's learn the phrase for hesitation, responsibility, and those moments when your brain asks for adult supervision. The pattern is,
क्या मुझे करना चाहिए?
meaning, must I, or should I. If you want to ask, must I leave now? Say.
क्या मुझे अब जाना चाहिए?
If you want to ask, must I wait here? Say.
क्या मुझे यहाँ इंतजार करना चाहिए?
If you wonder, must I say this? Say.
क्या मुझे ये कहना चाहिए?
This phrase is useful when you want guidance, permission, or just a second to think before doing something bold, awkward, or possibly unnecessary. Example. You are at a buffet, staring at the brightest red chili pickle in the world, and your inner voice asks,
क्या मुझे ये खाना चाहिए?
wise question. Very wise. A tiny comedy dialogue. Let's put all 5 phrases into one mini-scene so they feel alive. Imagine this like a travel sitcom, but useful. You arrive at a station carrying too many bags. You ask a staff member.
क्या आप मेरी मदद कर सकते हैं?
The staff member says something fast. You smile and reply.
क्या आप उसे दोहरा सकते हैं?
Now you understand. Great. You go to the ticket counter and say.
मुझे एक टिकट चाहिए.
Then you realize you also want to ask one more thing without sounding chaotic, so you begin politely.
क्या मैं संक्षेप में एक सवाल पूछ सकती हूँ?
Finally, after hearing 2 different directions and one extremely confident uncle, you wonder.
क्या मुझे यहाँ इंतजार करना चाहिए?
Congratulations. You have just survived the station, the counter, the confusion, and the uncle. Quick recall challenge. Time for a fast review. Answer in your head, or out loud if you enjoy confusing nearby furniture. How do you say, could you please help me?
क्या आप मेरी मदद कर सकते हैं?
How do you say, could you repeat that?
क्या आप उसे दोहरा सकते हैं?
How do you say, I would like tea?
मुझे चाय चाहिए.
How do you say, may I briefly?
क्या मैं संक्षेप में?
How do you say, must I?
क्या मुझे करना चाहिए?
Your friendly conclusion. You did it. And no, you do not need a cape to sound polite in Hindi, although it might help with confidence. Today you practiced 5 genuinely useful Hindi phrases for real life: asking for help, asking for repetition, saying what you want, asking to speak briefly, and checking what you should do. Try using them aloud a few times.
क्या आप मेरी मदद कर सकते हैं? क्या आप उसे दोहरा सकते हैं? मुझे चाय चाहिए. क्या मैं संक्षेप में?
And
क्या मुझे करना चाहिए?
thanks for learning with me. Keep practicing, keep repeating, and don't be afraid to use your Hindi in the real world. You've got this.